Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. And something cool that came in last night, actually, is this little gift that I got from our friends at Lego. They make these buildable figures. I've got a bunch. I've got a K2SO and some of the sort of meaner-looking robots and stuff like that they've built. But Boba Fett was one that I was hoping they'd make, and they did make it. And I put it together just before we started rolling, and we did a quick little time lapse of the thing. And they come together super quick, and they're super fun to build, and they look darn cool, especially the more robotic. I'm not super crazy about the way the people look, but the robots look cool. I've got them a little sort of bow-legged right there, but they're super flexible and posable, and they're fun to make, and that you can make them quickly. And if you have little kids that love Star Wars, they're going to love that. But let's get started. We got a great rundown and an awesome show for you today. All kinds of cool things have been going on. It's been a very busy week with huge movies to see and huge video games to play. This rundown is going out to our buddy Paul Adamson. Great flashback Tommy as Sonic, a meek Kevin Smith, and Soul Patch Vic. Fun as always. I'm never growing that Soul Patch back, but it's nice to look in the rearview mirror every once in a while. Let's get started with Paul's rundown. The Street Fighter franchise is punching and kicking its way to television. A new live-action TV series based on the fighting game franchise is in the works. Deadline reports that thanks to the success of the recent web series Street Fighter Assassin's Fist and its sequel Street Fighter Resurrection, the creative team behind the web shows has inked a deal to create a full-fledged TV series in the same style and tone. Like the games, the show will see iconic Street Fighter heroes like Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li take on an international criminal organization run by the villainous M. Bison. No premiere window has been revealed. This is awesome. I think this is so cool. We're obviously going to start to see more and more people attempt to get into the video game adaptation space now that the comic industry is pretty much exhausted. They've got to get like a show or a movie for every single character out there. So they need to get into the video game stuff. And obviously Street Fighter's been interpreted a few times in the past. But I'm excited. I think this could be really fun. The effects are going to get better, and people kind of know what to expect. This is such an incredible franchise. So fingers crossed, but I am excited. Let's talk about our PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds news for today. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is about to get a lot smaller and a lot more fast-paced. Earlier today at GDC, PlayerUnknown himself, Brendan Green, not so unknown, revealed the first look at the next map coming to the game. As expected, it's much smaller, only 4 kilometers squared, and is inspired by Southeast Asian locales with rice huts, lush forests, and winding rivers that will contrast visually with the existing maps. Making it smaller also means that the matches will be faster and more intense, which should also contrast with the existing maps. The new map is expected to roll out in the coming weeks. These guys cannot make maps fast enough. I think this is it now, man. I was thinking about it, even though like every game is going to start coming with Battle Royale, right? So we've got Fortnite out there, but the minute that, Star Wars Battlefront has a Battle Royale thing, and the minute that Battlefield has one, and Call of Duty is going to have one, I was thinking, the people at HAL Laboratories are probably kicking themselves that they've already named a game called Kirby Battle Royale, because they could have made a Battle Royale mode in Star Allies, and people would have been, you know what I'm saying? Like, Battle Royale is going to be the thing. I playing Sea of Thieves. I'm like, yeah, you know what? They're probably going to make a Battle Royale game in here. Last Pirate Standing. It's going to get intense. So PlayerUnknown and his posse, they've got to crank. And if they are getting bought by Microsoft or whatever, if there is going to be any kind of exclusivity thing happening for good, they are just going to be making map after map after map, because people are going to have all of this choice very soon. Now that their fight for survival is over, game maker Ubisoft is expanding. This is predictable. The publisher has announced that they're opening up 2 new development studios in Mumbai, India, and Odessa, Ukraine. This company is incredible. They're all over the place. The Odessa studio will work alongside the existing studio in nearby Kiev and will work specifically on future games in the Ghost Recon series. Meanwhile, Ubisoft hasn't said what franchises the Mumbai studio will work on, but they've been overseen by managing director Jean-Philippe Pichot, I hope I got that name right, who previously worked on Far Cry. The news comes just days after Ubisoft narrowly survived a hostile takeover bid by the media conglomerate Vivendi, which is the business form of Battle Royale, last company standing. And Ubisoft, I think, is going to be doing just fine. They keep expanding their studios and expanding their games. And I've been playing Far Cry 5. And I can't review it, I don't think. I don't even know. There's like 7,000 embargoes around this thing. But it's been making me very happy. I think I can say that. But hats off to Ubisoft. Congratulations. This is great. And I cannot believe the amount of studios they have all over the world. Over in the Nintendo front, one of Nintendo's most iconic creations is coming to the Switch, but not from Nintendo. The system is getting a pair of third-party Joy-Con controllers that will include a D-pad, the little cross-shaped buttons that had been included on every Nintendo controller before the Switch. The new Joy-Cons are being made by peripheral company Hori and will replace the existing arrow buttons on the left Joy-Con with the D-pad. I want one of these so bad. They begin rolling out this summer. Now, that D-pad is something that Nintendo kind of invented, I think, with the NES controller. They kind of invented it, and they got us accustomed to it. They improved it closer to perfection, I think, with the Super Nintendo. Certainly in your hand, it felt a lot better. Pulling off fighting moves and controlling any kind of two-dimensional character on screen has remained a little bit more enjoyable, a little easier to kind of manage with the D-pad. So it was incredibly strange for Nintendo to take this sort of move into these 4 buttons. And I know a lot of hardcore fighting game fans that picked up the Street Fighter software that Capcom released, the Ultra Street Fighter 2 Turbo Extreme 64 edition or whatever it's called. With more Street Fighter coming to the franchise, with more or to the console, and with more Mega Man and all kinds of really cool sort of retro stuff, it makes perfect sense. And this is Hori, right? Yeah, is it? Yes, Hori. They are terrific at making peripherals, so I'm very, very excited about this, and I'm going to find one, and I will talk about it on the show. Oh, I skipped a story. Thank you. DC Comics is joining forces again with one of their most heroic partners. DC has inked a 5-comic deal with comic icon Frank Miller, who created The Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, and countless other classics. The new 5-comic deal includes the already announced Superman Year One and will hit shelves in August. So this means we'll be getting 4 other new DC books from Miller in the near future. This is on top of the recent Miller and DC collaboration Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, which landed last year. I didn't read that. I feel I'm behind. So maybe what I've got to do is, they're making some huge announcements over at DC. I think I'm going to dig into some of the current stuff that Frank Miller is working on. I'm glad that he is, sort of stepping back full on into the comic space. DC is obviously indebted to him for all of the rejuvenation that his work has provided to their business, to their company, to their comics line, and also sort of as an inspiration for their movies. I don't think he's hit the highs of Year One and the original Dark Knight Returns, the 4-part books, but he's an incredible creator. And if you've never read Frank Miller comics, I have a tremendous amount of envy for you, because you've got a massive library of awesome to dig into. So that is great news. DC Comics is kicking ass. Now we just need them to move some of that ass kicking over to their movies and really take the world by storm. But that's it for the rundown. That's all the time we have for our rundown today. Let us move on to this day in everything cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for March 23rd. On this day in 1993, a Nintendo icon sucked up consoles for the first time. The platforming game Kirby's Adventure was released on the NES, the second game in the series, and the first to be released on a console. It was also the first Kirby title to include the copy feature, where the lovable pink blob absorbs the abilities of his devoured enemies, something that now seems impossible to imagine Kirby without. Kirby's Adventure was one of the last big games that Nintendo released on the original NES, given that the SNES had already been released 2 years earlier. Kirby made the jump to that platform a year later. Another big franchise began on March 23, 2004 because the very first Far Cry game was released on the PC. Developed by Crytek and published by Ubisoft, Far Cry was notable for its stunning graphics, which looked far better than most video games at the time, with Crytek using the game to show off the capabilities of their new Cry engine. It was also a pretty fun game, with players taking the role of ex-Special Forces soldier Jack Carver, who washes up on a deadly tropical island controlled by genetically altered bad guys. The game was a success, and Ubisoft took control of the franchise to develop a sequel that came out 4 years later. They've since turned Far Cry into one of their most valuable properties. March 23, 2001 was the date of a very explosive space odyssey. The Russian space station Mir, which had been launched into orbit 15 years earlier, ended its mission by intentionally decaying its orbit and burning up in Earth's atmosphere. The aging station had been decommissioned a few months earlier, and the Russian Space Agency decided to let it burn up rather than just have it keep floating around as space garbage. Burning up in the atmosphere is also totally badass. Mir has the distinction of being humanity's very first space station, allowing astronauts to live in orbit for months at a time, and it also marked an important step towards space cooperation, with the Russians welcoming American and European astronauts aboard. Mir was a precursor to the current International Space Station, which is still up there to this day. All right, always something very cool coming every day. I'm sorry I wasn't watching that, but we were in space for this day and everything cool. I love all the space news that we put into EP. We believe in space. Go space! Jordan Cunningham says they should make Battle Royale modes in games like Halo, the Master Chief Collection, or Halo 5. Just create a Forge map and have some fun. Yeah, I mean, all of that is coming towards us big time. And Jordan also says, remember when... oh, no, this was Samium111. Remember when Battle Royale was just called Elimination? I do. I've been playing games that long. Boba Fett, where should we go now? Oh, you want to find out if Pacific Rim Uprising is any good? Yeah, good idea, Boba Fett. Let's go. Hey, I'm Victor Lucas. Welcome to Film Fury. My buddy Johnny Millennium could not join me for a screening of Pacific Rim Uprising, which was one of my most anticipated movies for 2018. I was a huge fan of the first Pacific Rim, so even though it's a very busy week for Johnny and for me, I had to sneak out and see this flick. And I have to tell you, I was, pleasantly entertained by this movie. It certainly isn't better than the first Pacific Rim. It certainly lacks a certain menace and a certain, edginess that I think was a big part of the joy of the first movie. This movie feels like it's been, kind of engineered to appeal to a wider audience, to bring in more families and more kids, and it neuters the experience a little bit, but it's still entertaining. There's still some really cool stuff, and if you're worried that they skimped on the budget and there aren't these incredible kaiju versus Jaeger fights in this thing, you don't have to worry about that, because the battles are epic and incredible and monstrous and just something to behold. The little hairs on the back of your neck, if you're a big nerd like I am, start to go up and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe what I'm looking at. And that's all fun. Actually, and the cast members are actually pretty competent in this. I like John Boyega as our new hero. He plays Idris Elba's son in this, even though Idris Elba doesn't have any scenes or anything like that. They just have a couple of little image flashbacks to him, and then Boyega references his we're canceling the apocalypse scene, which was great. Boyega is certainly no Idris Elba, but he is very charming and he is very likable, and he does have a commanding presence on screen. He has to kind of lead a band of plucky kids, which I think is my biggest problem with this movie. I have no problem with kids, and I like family movies, and I like seeing kids that are competent do kinds of cool things like pilot Jaegers. But it really sort of turns this into kind of a space camp slash juvenile Top Gun kind of vibe, and it takes the teeth out of the experience a little bit, no pun intended, because you just don't really believe the conflicts. There's no real stakes with these younger people, it removes a little bit of the menace, because they're not going to be slaughtering the kids too much. There is a little bit of danger and death and destruction in this for sure, but it feels not particularly nasty. And I think one of the great things about the first Pacific Rim is that you'd be in the theater if you're an adult that's grown up loving giant robots and giant monsters. doesn't like giant robots and giant monsters? Anyways, you'd be in the theater and you'd be kind of looking around going, should I be enjoying this much? And because it was quirky and weird and just sort of leaned into its anime influences in a massive way, this one feels much more like a safer bet from the studio, and you can kind of understand it. You realize that, this was an unlikely sequel because the first movie was a little bit so, quirky and weird and campy, and I was surprised that this got made, happy that this got made. And I got to tell you, Boyega's good. Scott Eastwood, who just sounds just like his dad, Clint Eastwood, it's pretty fun to watch his sequences in here as well. I like the plucky kid who has built her own Jaeger at the beginning of the film. She's solid in here as well. Listen, I had a smile on my face for big chunks of this thing. I wasn't blown away, and I certainly was sort of scratching my head at some of the plot decisions and some of the ideas of bringing in all of these young warriors. But there's some beautiful sequences, some really cool effects, and at the end of the day, you're kind of going to see a Pacific Rim movie to watch these big epic battles, and in that standpoint, it does not disappoint. Pacific Rim is a lot of fun, and I do say that if you dug the first one, this is worth your ticket price to go see this on a big screen. I'm probably going to get this as a 4K Blu-ray, but I didn't love it. I'm going to give Pacific Rim Uprising a 6.5 out of 10. I like that. Ryan Landis says Pacifier Rim. They're not that young, but they looked kind of baby-faced compared to the more mature Jaeger pilots of the first film. I like the first film way better. It's a beautiful movie. Dumb, but crazy fun, and Guillermo went all in. Stephen S. DeKnight did a pretty good job with this, though. I think it's still worth your time. I'm not reviewing Ready Player One, JBJ Blaze, and TFA. We are reviewing that next week, and Johnny and I actually finally got together again to review that, so stay tuned for that on Film Fury next week. And that was, of course, a Film Fury review, which you can find on our Film Fury channel, so please go subscribe over there if you can. Olaf Christensen says that review kind of makes you want to watch the first Pacific Rim again. I recommend it. It's a great movie. It's so much fun. And we got, there was another comment in there. Oh, somebody asked if I like the TV show The Expanse. It's Be Wise. I love the TV show The Expanse. I'm behind on that. There are a lot of great stuff, man. That's what keeps me so busy. It's not only just sort of putting this content together, but I got to watch a lot of stuff and, woe is me. But I got a lot of stuff to cram into my brain before I can come out and talk to you guys about that stuff. But I watched the first season and loved it. Very cool. All right, we're going to move on. Ready Player One is, of course, coming out next week, and Vancouver got something very cool. It was attached to the Junos, but we got a nice little bit of hype around Ready Player One. Let's take a look. As part of the Juno Awards happening this weekend, we have got a great setup in downtown Vancouver, and one of the prime pieces of real estate here is this Ready Player One stacks.
Yeah.
And Nisha's here to tell me how this happened. How did we get the stacks here in downtown Vancouver?
Well, I mean, it's a really exciting time. As you know, Ready Player One comes out next week, and it has been highly anticipated. So a really exciting partnership between Warner Brothers, IMAX, and the Juno Awards to bring this activation to the site. So the host committee is hosting Let's Hear It Live, which is a 100% BC-based music festival, and right beside it you've got this amazing activation. So I think it's just the best merger of the creative arts and industry in BC.
That's great. And so when the musicians come through this space, they've got all kinds of arcade games that they can play while they're waiting.
100%. I mean, what better way to kill time? And didn't we all do that? Wasn't that how we spent a lot of our childhood?
Yes.
I mean, you've got a virtual reality room, you've got the arcades, you've got all this Back to the Future and like old school retro vibes in there, but at the same same time, this is supposed to be the future, right?
Yes.
So this is 2045. So let's see what'll happen in 2045.
Does the imagery from Ready Player One resonate with you? Or are you fans of all of these different IPs that are represented in this movie?
Absolutely, and the best part about this is that I walked in there now and you've got a Star Wars poster and a Star Trek poster side by side, which is not actually as unusual as people think, but normally they were kind of like in one room and then the other room, or like the opposite ends of the wall. So seeing them side by side, I kind of chuckled. All of these properties that remind you of some time in your past, your parents are engaged, and you've got children who are just as engaged because they're looking at this as their childhood is now.
It's kind of like the movie is like an action figure collection.
Oh, it's sci-fi, it's action, it's adventure, it's a little bit of everything. I think there's a lot of excitement around it, and not just the movie. Like, I mean, it's been a book, it's a huge activation. There's so many pieces to the puzzle. I'm excited to see how people react today.
And so this is all free. People can come and check all of this stuff out. And you've got VR that people can play and arcade games that are free, which is huge. I didn't want to leave, but I had to leave. I got other things to do. But the other cool thing is you actually have like a set piece in the middle of all this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you can basically go sit in the middle of the scene, right? This is you stepping into the movie. This is the opportunity for you to be a part of the experience. It's a completely immersive experience.
Well, Vancouver is an amazing city, but we don't do these huge media events like this enough. And this is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope all of Vancouver turns out to enjoy this and also see Ready Player One when it comes out next week. Speaking of retro games, boy, do we have a doozy for you in today's Buried Treasure. Today's Buried Treasure is a classic Super Nintendo game that came out in 1994. It's called Tinstar, and this was a wacky game. It was a light gun shooter that you could play with the Super Nintendo controller. You could also play it with the Super Scope peripheral, the sort of the light gun peripheral that came out for the Super Nintendo. And of course, there was also the mouse that came out for the, you remember that, the mouse with Mario Paint? You could use the mouse to blast at bad guys. There are all kinds of robots populating this old Wild West town. You got to knock them all down. There's lots of little mini game type of collections in there where you're shooting at jugs that are bouncing back and forth. You're shooting at bad guys in the town. You're shooting at bad guys when they're on stagecoaches, and you're off hunting the big bad guy named Black Bart, I believe is the name of the character. I think there's a Black Bart in every Old West kind of game out there. I do remember enjoying and smiling quite a bit with Tinstar. It's a bit of an obscure game. I believe it only came out in North America. It wasn't something that was published all the way around the world. Nintendo published this game, though, which is surreal because this doesn't really feel or fit within the sort of Nintendo kind of pantheon, and we certainly haven't ever seen more from Tinstar. It's obscure, and it was fun, and it'll put a smile on your face, and that is why Tinstar is a buried treasure. We've got another big movie that's hitting some cities right now and some cities next week, and it's something that I've already posted on Film Fury, but I want you to watch the review, but I also, if it's your style of film, I want you to go to it, and I also want you to tell people about this movie so that it becomes a hit, because, spoiler alert, I love it. Here's my review of Isle of Dogs.
Wait a second. Before we attack each other and tear ourselves to shreds like a pack of maniacs, let's just open the sack first and see what's actually in it. It might not even be worth the trouble.
What do you think? I'm not sure. Maybe. Hi.
Okay, it's worth it.
Hey, I'm Victor Lucas, and you are watching Film Fury, and my buddy Johnny Millennium could not join me for a screening of The Isle of Dogs. And if you say that very quickly, it's Isle of Dogs or I Love Dogs. And I'm shooting this review actually in a dog park, which is very fitting. This is a new movie written and directed by Wes Anderson, the very eccentric and very talented filmmaker that has been making quirky but expertly composed movies for a very long time. And this is another one of these expertly composed movies with beautiful framing and lots of elaborate details. It's all animated, though, and he uses stop-motion animation and some of the coolest action figures you have ever seen. It very much looks like it's a puppet stop motion movie, but they look like cool toys. And man, did I want some of these toy sets. The puppeteering work is incredible, and there's behind the scenes videos on the internet now that you can watch. You can see the people painstakingly putting all kinds of details in there, arching eyebrows. There's toasts that happen with a bunch of scientists and they clink glasses together. It just looks incredible. All the mouth animations, all of that stuff, and you're just watching it going, how did they do this? How many hours did it take to make this damn thing? And that is in your mind for sure, and it's so elaborate. It kind of echoed some of the same kinds of vibes that I got out of watching the elaborate animation techniques that we saw in the first Lego movie, but this is a much more mature and much more nuanced and a much more, thoughtful and enjoyable picture. This is something that's really going to register with you as you're watching it. It's all about this idea of this corrupt mayor in Japan that decides that dogs need to be outlawed and ostracized and sent to this island, this trash island, where they are going to live out the rest of their days away from society because he's got all kinds of duplicitous plans. And a little kid that has become his ward named Atari says, no, you know what? I miss my dog so much. I'm going to go to this Isle of Dogs and I'm going to try to get this dog back. And Wes Anderson, as we all know, has a great history of working with lots of fantastic actors like Edward Norton, like Bill Murray. Jeff Goldblum is in this thing, Bryan Cranston.
We'll find your dog.
Scarlett Johansson. Basically, everybody wants to work with Wes Anderson. And I think after seeing this movie, that's going to be even more the case, because this is an absolutely magnificent picture, and it's so original and so surprising. And I'm not going to reveal anything more about the plot. I want you to discover this movie for yourself. I want you to see it. I also would really implore you to get out into the theater and support this movie. It was supposed to have a wide release, and then the studio said, no, let's test it out in some other markets first and go into limited, and then we'll expand it from there. But this is something that everybody should see. It's not a kid's movie. I will say that. It's not meant for very young children. It's not that it's violent or gory. There's a little bit of high drama in here and a little bit of animated blood and stuff like that. It's just if little kids that have kind of grown up with the fantastic Mr. Fox, which is the other terrific animated flick that Wes Anderson has made, and I saw that a few years ago and still have fond memories of that movie, I think they will also naturally gravitate to the Isle of Dogs and love it. But I feel like this might go over the heads of little kids, and it's not as manic and as crazy as a lot of the animated pictures that seem to come out these days, where there's just like an attention grabbing scene or sequence or song and dance number every 2 minutes. It's not like that. There's lots of stillness. There are haikus read throughout this thing. It's a real celebration of Japanese culture and some of the more esoteric elements of Japanese culture, but it's so wonderfully presented and so magnificently produced. And everybody shows up, all of the behind the camera people are, you can clearly see the love and the attention to detail and the care that they put into this, but also all the performances as well. I'll tell you what, Jeff Goldblum as a dog, I would watch hours and hours and hours of that.
Exactly.
Same here.
Words out of my mouth.
So if Netflix is watching and they want to make a new series, make Jeff Goldblum an animated dog somehow, because he's amazing. He's so funny to hear as a dog. And Bill Murray's great in this too. It's fantastic, and right now it's my favorite movie of 2018. I think it might be one of these dark horse Shape of Water kind of experiences for a lot of people out there. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Great work, Wes Anderson. Exquisite movie, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but the reviewer, the person, that very handsome reviewer, he was not stop motion. He was actually live action. And then we cut some stop motion footage in there. That movie was so good, I want to go on a Wes Anderson Film Festival binge. I promised you guys in my tweet today that I would talk a little bit about Sea of Thieves, which I have been playing. I've probably put about 7 or 8 hours into this game already so far. And they are very repetitive hours, I'm sad to say. I think it's absolutely stunning. I think it's like a showcase piece of software for the Xbox One X in terms of visual fidelity and audio fidelity. Rare has outdone themselves with creating this incredibly detailed world for us to explore, but the repetitious nature of what I have explored so far has been a little off-putting. There's a lot of kind of just hanging around on the deck of the boat as you're sort of sailing to a place. I haven't played it enough that I can review it yet. I need to play it a little bit more for sure. But I feel like one of the things that I feel about it is that it's not perfectly balanced and perfectly positioned to bring everybody in and entertain everybody as a launch product. And, we saw the issues with the internet connectivity and people having to be kicked out and then have to reload the game to get their gold and stuff like that. Issues that, frankly, for a game that's been delayed so long and has been this cornerstone piece of software, an incredibly important piece of software for the Xbox brand, that should have been handled better. But you could say all of the same things, and this is why I've made this comparison to Hello Games. I always forget the No Man's Sky. You can make the similar kind of comparison to No Man's Sky. Kind of beautiful details, lots of little things that you could fidget with and things that you could kind of accumulate, but it felt kind of empty. This doesn't feel empty. You'll definitely encounter people in boats and things like that. It just takes a while to kind of feel like you're not kind of re-seeing things over and over again. You just keep going to islands and you're destroying skeletons and snakes, and at least what I've seen so far. I have not fought the Kraken myself. And I know that this game is making a lot of people happy. I also know that it's making a lot of people unhappy. And I also know that Rare is happy with the sales, and Microsoft sufficiently hyped this thing, so there will be a lot more invested into this game now at launch. But let's hope the player base stays with it and doesn't get pissed off, and I would say understandably pissed off, like the No Man's Sky groups did. Now No Man's Sky has become a great game. I played it a little while ago, instantly transported and hooked by the content. They had to keep adding to it to make it get closer to what they promised. And I had an initial issue with Sea of Thieves when I saw it at E3 a couple of years ago. I really kind of wondered, where the gameplay was. And I think this is more of a communal experience type of gameplay. But for me, I've played it a few times. I played it in the beta, and we fumbled and bumbled and kind of figured out the systems, and then did that again. And it felt like once you've done that, once you're not like the bad news bears on a boat and you're sort of bumping into everything and your boat's sinking all the time and you're laughing about the idiocy of making all these mistakes, it really becomes like you know what to do, you know how to keep your boat afloat, you know how to get the chests, and so you're doing that again and again. And I don't know, man. I want there to feel like there's a little bit more story guidance throughout this. I feel a little bit slighted that I don't have characters that are talking with me, as opposed to me having to read and do multiple choice questions. It's 2018, fidelity-wise, gorgeousness-wise, it's up there. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. The wave effects, diving under the water and looking up, the sunsets and sunrises, stunning. But details like you're in a town, but all the civilians are just behind a counter, and it's hard to know where they are because there's this absence of any HUD. So you're kind of just sort of hunting and pecking, trying to find, where you can go, and if you've got enough gold that you can actually buy anything. So definitely issues, definitely lots of cool things. I definitely need to invest more time. But I wanted to share some thoughts on that game. But now we've got a brand new game that's launched today, actually launched at 9 o'clock last night Pacific. It is A Way Out from Hazelight Studios. This is the game that famously Jeff Keighley had one of the studio leads up on stage at the Game Awards, and they basically said that the Oscars are shit and video game awards are all that matters now, and he was very hyped up about his game, and it was equally endearing and equally offensive, which was pretty cool. My buddy Blake is going to join me.
Speaking of endearing and offensive at the same time, hi.
Was that the perfect segue, the perfect intro?
For me it was.
Okay, so Blake is going to try to follow along, but here's the thing. thing. This is a different type of game, and I want us to play this for a little bit. I'm going to put 30 minutes on the clock. Is that okay for you?
I'm more than okay with that, Vic.
Okay, because we actually have a real game. If you guys are okay, we're going to play for a little while. Not that they haven't all been real, but this is a game where we need 2 people to play it. It is a cooperative experience only. Do we have audio in this thing at all, or did you kill all the audio?
Let's have it on the TV.
Oh,
And hear a little ambience.
Okay, will it come through?
Yeah, because we're having issues with the capturing audio from the game.
So I got to unplug the headphones then.
Oh yeah, I can get it.
You got it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. All right, so Blake is going to do some technical support here, and we'll turn up the volume on the TV. No, there's a problem.
Yeah, see that's
Yeah.
the issue I'm getting.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's causing that, but
You know what? I can probably try to. I'm going to restart the PlayStation 4. It's because it's not good. We're not going to redo. I think. Hang on, everybody. We're going to restart. You can look at my friends list for a
I
second.
don't know if that's a good idea, Vic.
I think we'll be okay. Let's give it a shot.
Hey, let me go change it, fix it.
Okay. All right. So we're restarting the PlayStation 4. We're going to see if we have audio that you guys can hear. That's a better shot of me rather than the HDMI input connected. So this is restarting. Oh, I put it into rest, I think, didn't I? Okay, here we go. So it is coming back. You're tearing me apart, Vic. I have not pressed, for anybody wondering, I have not pressed the 30 minutes yet, so we're all good. That's me. And Blake is generic user 1. Looks just like him. And there we go. Now let's jump in. And do we have audio? Does it sound okay? Can you hear it?
Let's find out.
Okay.
Hey, Vincent, how's your plan after this?
All right.
So let's try. Well, let me see if I can get it here though.
Okay. It's coming in fine now. An EPN technical difficulties graphic. Yeah. We'd rather just keep you guys along for the ride. All right, so we're going to keep it. There is audio in this sucker. You guys want to see a way out? We'll play 30 minutes starting right now.
Hang on. If the audio is too loud relative to our voices, let us know.
Oh, yeah, let us know,
and
guys.
I will run in and fix it.
Doy Owen, there is no single player. You need a. I'll be this guy. I'll be Sideburns. You be the other.
That
guy.
kind of bugs me about this game because I'm not a big co-op guy.
Well, Sea of Thieves is the same kind of thing. You can play it alone, and it's kind of like chill time, but it's really meant to be played together. Jordan Cunningham really wants me to play Turok games on Xbox One.
Well,
I will check those out.
we did the making of documentary for the Turok reboot in 2008.
Yep.
The one with Ron Perlman.
The 360 one, yeah.
Yeah, because we interviewed Ron Perlman, and it was awesome.
Why am I tearing you apart, TFA?
I think because of the technical issues.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, you come to EPN and you expect some technical difficulties, don't you? Streaming is hard. It's much harder than shipping an hour of content every day on television. I will tell you that.
This loading screen is something else. Oh, here we go.
Okay, Hazelite Studios presents We're Off to Prison, which is undoubtedly our future as well together, which is going to be amazing, for making too much awesome on the internet right to the clinker.
Vic, I have a request.
Yes.
Can we skip the cutscenes?
Yeah, I guess we should, right? But then we're not going to know what's happening.
We're 2 guys who need to break out of prison, right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You have a good point. Adrian, have you ever played Star Trek Bridge Crew? Is it great? I have played it for a few minutes, but I did not play it enough that I could really talk about it. But I know that Johnny played it and loved it. We should do that on here.
Yeah, we need more than one VR headset, though.
Yeah. How do you do? Oh, it's all.
It's like a co-op thing.
So I'll do it, and then I play with people online.
How do we
Okay.
can't
Any
skip the
famous
cutscenes.
voiceover folks in the cast for this
Vic, look at
game?
this. We can't skip the cutscenes.
Well, you're supposed to see what's going on. It's a story-based adventure game.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, with Star Trek Bridge Crew, I have 2 friends who are both big Star Trek fans like me, and they keep wanting to play it with me, but I don't have a PSVR.
yes.
And they keep asking me to buy one just to play this one game, and I'm like, well, I don't really want to buy a piece of hardware just for one game. So.
JBJ Blaze saying he disagrees with my comment about Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky, considering the former was at least finished by launch. Sea of Thieves was finished. I think you could argue that it is
No
not.
Man's Sky was finished.
And I think you could argue for both. I think it's a pretty close comparison, not in terms of depth of content or depth of experience or anything like that, but just hiccups. But if you don't think so, that's totally cool. So you're inverted and I'm not inverted, so I got to invert my guy. One sec.
Oh, am I looking at? I think you're looking at.
No, yeah, I'm on the right. Options.
Oh, I see.
So Leo invert. Oh, maybe I am right. Oh yeah, I'm okay. So you're okay too then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
does this game take place in the present day?
I don't know.
Because
We couldn't hear
It looks
anything.
vaguely period. I mean, that looks like sort of 70s suits we're wearing.
Samian111 says no skip for you.
How come he's walking like Michael Myers, or like a zombie or something?
He's just chill walking like a.
I can't he has no gait, or like wobble. He's very stiff.
Well,
it's like he's hiding something up his ass or something.
Hazelite is not. They're in prison. Hazelite is not a huge company, so they're not Naughty Dog. Okay.
Are you okay?
So this is like.
EA is pretty big.
Yeah, but
Okay,
EA
so
didn't make it.
I have no idea what this
This
guy
is-
just said to me, but I'm gonna tell him to stay strong.
You think I'm weak?
You think I'm weak? You think I'm?
Hey, what's up with you? I've got having the best day of my life, man. I'm telling you, best day ever. Also, look at this. There's
Guys,
two conversations.
don't let
happening
your
at the
kids
same-
watch. There's the F word in there.
Okay. Why is that?
Why is that?
Why is that? Well, I got beat
This
up.
is great
All
that we
my shit
can't-
got stolen, and my
I
parole
love
got
that we're
the-
playing this and we can't hear what they're saying.
Well, it's good that they have. I guess they probably didn't voice everything because you'd have 4 voices going.
Well,
at the
I'm sure
same-
you could hear. It's just because we don't have the audio on
Yeah, but
the TV.
how would they do that? Are there? Is there 6 voices happening in your stream right now?
Maybe.
That'd be hilarious. Okay, so no inmates beyond this point.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this
Arms
split
up,
screen.
stand still. When I was a young lad, and
Yes.
do I have a lot of these young lad stories? I hope I don't. I hope I don't sound like old man Lucas talking about the old days. No, but when I was a young man and I played Super Mario 64, I thought to myself, the dream would one day be that you could play 3D action adventure games with as much detail as this cooperatively.
Yeah. I
And-
just don't know about the split screen.
I mean, there's no other way to do it.
Is this game finished? Is this out?
It's out, yes.
Because I'm seeing like a lot of pop in, like the railing on the
Okay,
stairs
we're-
just like
we're not reviewing.
appeared, and
Yes, but
it just seems a little rough around the edges for a finished game. That's all.
Yes.
Like normally when you demo a game at a press event like months before it comes out, you get weird issues like that, but I don't know. I guess it shows the indiness of this game. Like it's not you're right, it's not a Naughty Dog.
It's not Naughty Dog,
developed
yeah.
game.
They probably had 20 people
Oh,
make this.
he's gonna get naked, guys. Everyone, avert
Oh,
your eyes.
jeez.
Oh, they're gonna do a clever thing with the.
Okay, I'm fighting. You two, break it up now. Samian111 wants me to talk about a time long, long ago, before time. The time before time.
There was no time before time.
But
Oh my God, that guy's naked.
there you go.
Do we see peen? I saw a little bit of penis there.
Really?
I think I did.
Oh my goodness. Wasn't expecting that. I guess we're in a prison though, right? So all
I guess
bets
it's a
are
game
off.
for adults, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome
Oh,
to
there-
Oz.
I saw his penis.
Oh boy, I think that's the first stream I've ever done where there's a naked dude in the thing. That's crazy. Meditation, man. What the hell is that? I'll set you free. One thing will set me free. You don't look free. Oh, you don't look free. Yes, because
Oh yeah,
you're in prison.
YouTube's gonna block our video now because we saw a penis.
No, they don't do that, do they?
No,
I don't think so.
Or it'll flagged as adult, maybe.
Nah.
Not my thing.
Do you see Peen? He's got a ding-a-ling.
Yeah, this has to be like the '60s or the early '70s because they look.
Yeah, their haircuts.
Yeah, and the clothes and everything like.
He's not wearing flare bell bottoms or anything like that.
Well, but people didn't actually dress like that in the '70s, Vic.
Just in the movies.
Yeah. Well, I guess you lived through the '70s and I didn't.
Yeah, I'm from the place before time.
I think, well, but weren't flared bottoms like the late 70s?
I don't know. I had flared bottoms when I was a kid, and I remember being able to stick both my feet into one, or both my legs into one leg. And I just thought that was so cool. All right, so I'm writing, and you're walking around naked.
So far, this game is not.
This is a very strange game.
I kind of hate games that. I get
Come on,
that.
this is character development.
I'm
this
just
is
speaking.
a storytelling
I'm speaking
thing.
in general terms.
Yes.
I kind of hate when games force the character development on you. Like when you can't skip a cutscene, I kind of hate that.
Okay.
Am I going? Where's
Another
myself?
week in this shithole. Okay.
Oh, I'm not supposed to be like that. Okay. Can we try to see his dick? Maybe. I'm curious to see if you can like camera around. Oh, you can't.
Oh, so I'm at the I'm at the sleeping portion.
Yeah,
of
you
my...
can see a bit of his dick if you adjust the camera a little bit.
Maybe you can just put the camera on
see,
his
I see-
dick
you can see
and
his
then
dick
walk
there when
around,
I'm
and just
wa-
walk around the whole. So the only dick cam in video game.
Yeah, see the Bible just popped in on the shelf there. It wasn't there a second ago.
Okay. All right. Blake's got to put that as a soundbite for the best of.
What looking at his dick?
Yeah. Okay. Black screen. Loading!
Shawshank Redemption, the game. Yeah, it looks very
Yeah.
Shawshank-esque visually.
I think the depths and such are similar. That is a fair enough point, though. Gracias, JBJ Blaze.
See, look at all the stuff in the background that's just popping in. That's not good.
That's a tremendous amount of work for a small team.
Yeah,
That's a ton of detail. Every one of those trees, all of that, the building, all of
Published
that
by
stuff.
EA though.
Yeah, but EA's like, okay, we'll handle distribution. You make the game. Here's $50.
I would have said, here's $100. Hire someone else to fix that shit.
Zach D says Blake is one of those cutscene skippers for shame.
I am. That's why I like Half-Life, because there's no cutscenes.
Because it's all live and in the game.
Yeah. That's how it should be.
This is kind of that, though. It's in the game.
When do I get a gun to shoot stuff?
He put me in the hole for 3 weeks. I'm gonna kill him. We need to experience prison life
I want a gun to shoot people.
before we say, you know what, it's time to go. This kind of makes me think of Kane and Lynch, which
See, this philosophically I don't like. Find things of interest. You know what I mean? A game shouldn't tell me to find something interesting to do. You know what I mean? The game should just be interesting.
Okay.
I have some philosophical differences with this game.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they got to lead you a little bit.
Yeah. I don't like feeling like I'm led though.
Okay, let's do some exercise. I believe we need to do this exercise because we are going to clamber the hell out of here.
I think I'm gonna go in here and fight someone.
Maybe you're gonna play some hoops. Doy Owen says you must hate MGS. I do for that same reason. You want to tell them your
I
MGS
actually really
story?
like Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah?
believe it or not.
Tell them your
Well, I
Metal
can
Gear
skip the
Solid
cutscenes.
4 story.
I was
from the time before time.
we made the metal. I've told this before on the streams and stuff, but we made the making of documentary for the Metal Gear Solid 4 Blu-ray, the collector's edition on the PS4, and as part of that, I flew to Japan in February 2008. And I had gone there in January to shoot the documentary, but in February I went there to play the game. And I was actually the first person in the world outside of the development team to play Metal Gear Solid 4 in its entirety. So that's my Metal Gear Solid 4 story.
That was awesome.
And when you watch the documentary on the Blu-ray and you see gameplay footage, it's me playing.
That's right. And you not only recorded that, but you recorded all kinds of pro tip if you want to survive, beat up the toughest guy in there. Sounds like Olaf Christensen has got some personal experience. Not only did you record MGS4, but all of the Metal Gear stuff.
No, that was another guy on the team.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't play the older ones.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I played all the older ones, but I didn't play Not for the Doc.
That was a tremendous amount of work. That was one of the...
No, the thing, you know what you're thinking of? Because I was the one who had to dub their Kojima's entire archive of old SD tapes.
That was amazing, yeah.
They had like
300 hours
something
of
like
footage.
Oh, it was more than that. It was like 300 tapes, but Did more than an hour on each.
We had at the same time that movie or our documentary came out on the PS4 on the PS3 disc, Blu-ray, so everything was in HD, and it was a tremendous amount of work at that time. But I remember King of Kong came out, and they were talking about they had 150 hours of footage. And I just thought about the budget that they had and the budget that we had to build our doc, and how many hours of footage that we had to go through to be able to build that. So now we're getting into some action here. A little fight is going on. Doyo, and you gotta play Metal Gear Solid 3. I think that's still my favorite. Is that still your favorite? Or do you like 4? Because of all the other reasons.
Yeah, I think. Honestly, yeah, I think I like the first one the best.
First one's
Metal Gear
amazing.
Solid 1.
The only one I don't like in retrospect is 2. I don't like
Yeah,
the
2
switch and bait.
2 doesn't hold up. Yeah, the ride-in.
Or
and-
bait and switch, yeah. I love 3 though.
We've seen the never before released alternate ending of 2. Do you remember that?
I don't remember what the ending
Well,
was, but
because the game came out like a month after
I
9/11.
think this is you. You're getting your ass kicked.
The game came out a month after 9/11, so there were
Yep.
the ending where he crashes in the boat into New York. It just sort of fades, and then the boat is in New York. In the game originally, you actually saw the boat crashing through like all the. Am I dying?
You're just. You have to learn how to talk.
In the original ending, you saw the boat crashing through New York City for real. And as I was going through the archive, I found that ending. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I asked if we could put it in the doc, but they didn't let us. But I've seen it.
Spider-Man is here, and he says hello, Vic, in chat. Spidey, great to see you. Can't wait for your movie next month.
Is that you? Which one am I?
I'm
You're the one with the
Sideburns.
big nose, right?
I like to call my character Sideburns.
See, I'm not digging this, Vic. I gotta be honest.
Well, it's a bit of a quick time sort of thing going.
Can I be brutally honest?
Yeah, of course.
I hate this kind of gameplay.
Okay.
I hate just
All right.
press square
Yeah,
plus.
Let's have a moratorium on the word hate until at least 30 minutes into an
Okay,
experience. Okay.
I didn't say I hate this game. I say I hate this kind of gameplay.
Okay. All right. We're trying to teach our daughter that hate is a very strong word and it should never be used. With
You know, my parents used to say that too. It didn't work.
Yeah, we all say it. But that's a good lesson for all of us, right? We all jump to hate way too quickly. It's a big problem in this world.
It is correct, though. It is a very strong word, and it probably shouldn't be used as much as it is.
That's right. MGS3, the one where you have to change the clock on your PS2 to kill the sniper. That's the you're getting all of them mixed up.
No, that is.
Is that
true,
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
the one with
Yes. Okay. And MGS2 does have a lot of great moments, but Raiden being the protagonist for 80% of the game, meh. Though Raiden was redeemed in MGS4, absolutely, in Metal Gear Rising. Excellent
true,
comment,
yeah.
Sami in 111. Metal Gear Rising, Platinum Games, very cool game. Yeah, Doi, that's the one. The boss was called The End. Incredible battle, Olaf. Oh, we're having Metal Gear memories right now. I love that franchise, and it's gone pretty much, except for Metal Gear Survive.
I could honestly see.
Somebody
Like
else picking up the baton.
No, I could see like 5 years from now, Kojima like if you get a regime change at Konami, and then as a publisher they make a deal with Kojima as a separate independent developer to just develop the game, and then Konami publishes it.
Oh man, the pride runs deep in Japan though.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, but I
And
mean,
there was a lot of bad blood, man. And yeah, if like the Konami execs die
yeah,
or leave,
or say Konami gets bought by like Capcom or something, that someone who Kojima doesn't have bad blood with.
Konami they're so massive because they make exercise equipment and slot machines, and they're a huge business over there, and they're in some of the most expensive real estate in Tokyo. And video games are just a tiny chunk of what they do, and that's part of the issue.
This food looks good.
They aren't. They don't really think of it as sort of something that's sort of crucial to them, especially AAA console games.
Is it weird that I want to eat this bread?
No,
like
go for
in
it.
real life?
Go for it. You're hungry. Can you play Kirby Star Allies on the next EP Live? That would be hilarious. Kirby Star Allies. We'll play the Battle Royale mode of Kirby Star Allies.
I asked off camera when I was at the Far Cry event a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I said, so when does the Battle Royale mode come out? And they just laughed.
I'm sure that's
It'll be
coming.
out this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so why am I just...
I can't leave this
When
guy.
does the game start?
Come on, we're learning the ropes. How about you two lovebirds have a chat somewhere else? I want to eat. Okay, let me through.
How about you two lovebirds have
Okay.
a chat somewhere else? I want to eat. Hey.
Hey, is someone talking? Oh, okay. I kept pressing
You know,
cancel.
we're not doing this game any favors by not having the audio, just because it's like the audio is probably 40% of it. And
Yes.
Don't fuck with me when
Well, I don't know how they can have the audio. Like, I can't hear it. Could you guys hear it?
Yeah, they can hear it. Yeah.
Are they talking on both sides? Because that would be crazy.
Tell us, stream, what's happening in the game.
Well, if I plug the headphones in, I can hear it.
Yeah, but then you got headphones in your face.
We got patched. We are patched in. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I've exhausted all. I've walked to all the other.
Everybody's talking, so that's nuts.
So this is the only thing I can do. So the game's gonna make me eat a little longer before I can start playing the game
Well, it's
again.
because I had to get through.
Is that it?
Oh, okay.
What do you think this is? A goddamn restaurant?
This doesn't
Oh.
seem like it's such a.
This guy wants to stab me, so I gotta beat him up.
This takes a lot of chutzpah to make a game like this be co-op only, because this seems like a very.
It's Uncharted and co-op, man.
You'd think you'd want to play this like as a solitary experience and just kind of like take your time and not have to deal
Dude,
with another
when
person.
I play Uncharted games, I'm like, well, you're always playing with two characters.
I'm not
so
saying
you
it's
can
bad. I'm not
you
saying
can
it's
have
bad.
banter, but then you can't play with two.
I'm just saying this is very, you know, it's against the grain. It takes a lot of chutzpah to make a game like this.
That's right.
So if it works, you know, they'll have done something new.
This looks pretty damn good. It's way better with audio, by the way.
I'll have to take your word for that.
It is weird that. Oh, I was looking at your thing.
You know, so far this is a really impressive cutscene. The whole game, I mean.
Okay. It's weird. Oh, he got me. Oh, so I had to get him with all of these little pieces along the way before we got to the end there.
So
okay.
did you have a choice about getting stabbed, or the game makes you get stabbed?
Olaf Christensen. No, I did not have a choice.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
I wasn't sure if it was like you have to get stabbed and then the
No,
next part of the
I
story
wasn't
is-
throwing these things at him. Olaf Christensen asked why we didn't review Paddington 2. I believe it's because I was on my vacation during the time that the screening took place. And then my family went and saw it without me. And I was so bummed because I really wanted to see it. I love the first one.
Vic, have you ever been to Paddington Station in London?
Yes, absolutely.
They have a Paddington Bear in the station.
Yeah, we bought a Paddington Bear at they have a store at Paddington Station. Paddington rocks.
They also have an awesome pretzel stand.
The
in that
Wren is
station.
here. Hello. So the cops came in. Their knives being flat. Oh, this guy's about to get killed. Oh my goodness, he is so
guy's
dead. He's gone. Oh, they're gonna kill him now.
Prison looks like really intense.
Don't go to prison.
Yeah.
Don't go. Terrible. Everybody's naked and stabbing each other. Don't go to prison. What did those guys expect when you keep a guy from eating? Okay, so here's the love story.
Yeah, we really can't skip this. God damn it.
No, come on. Come on. This is good. That's what we have tons of time.
Are there any recognizable voice actors in this game?
I can't tell.
Like, is Michael Caine in it? Is
Michael
Morgan
Caine,
Freeman in it?
I could play as Michael Caine. You'll be all right. Just lay down. Yeah, thanks. You do more.
This guy,
you do Morgan Freeman.
I'm getting a Scott Jones vibe from your character.
Oh, from my character.
Do you think he looks like Scott Jones a little bit?
Maybe.
A little bit.
Put some glasses on him. This is A Way Out, the Wren. This is a new game from EA and Hazelight Studios.
There's no way out of this cutscene.
Stop it. Let it play. We're playing the game.
I'm playing the game. I'm gonna put the controller down just so you can see me playing the game.
Okay.
What's your beef with that guy anyway? Let's just say it's a long story. But don't worry about him. He's out of the picture now.
So if you play this online, this is the one cool thing about this game. You only need one copy of it, and then you can share the game with somebody else.
Yeah.
And they can
play
download it
without buying the game.
without buying the game, and then you can play through the whole thing, which is kind of cool.
It seems very un-EA.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Like you didn't have to cash in a loot box to get that. You know,
Wait.
it's just available for you.
Yeah.
What? You can't just walk out of here.
I like that lamp. Looks good.
We're gonna both end up in
Good
the
looking
hole.
lamp.
Good.
Well,
I
don't
love
have a
lamp.
choice. All right. I'll help you.
Sean
See,
Penn
look at
vibe
the
from
light
that
on
one
his
dude.
look at
Sean
the light
Penn.
on his blanket. It keeps like
100%.
Okay.
strobing.
Keep your eyes sharp.
Oh. Oh, we still got some.
Got our voicemail.
So why am I in bed?
Okay. I'll distract the nurse. Just watch out for her.
I didn't like get injured.
Yeah, we both got beat up.
So
We got swarmed.
is
Okay.
like you haven't played this before, right?
No, man, this is the first
Is
time we
is
loaded
this
it
the
up.
whole game where you just go and
Uh-oh.
Go and do this
okay,
prompt, go and do-
all right. No, so we got to get out without being seen here.
okay.
Okay.
So the whole game
Now-
is just going to be
Now
this
it's
prompt, this
now,
prompt.
Now it's Prison Break. Okay. You just chill and start having some fun. Okay. Put a big smile on your face. It's fun time now.
Oh, I'm calling. Well,
Okay.
okay, you hide there. Okay, I called her.
All right. I got to retrieve a
So
tool.
she's gonna come over here, and then when she comes over by my place, then you can leave. Okay, now go. There's a guard out there though, so be careful.
What can I do for you?
She didn't notice that I'm not in the bed.
Nope. She's enthralled by my looks. She can't take her eyes off me.
Okay.
Is that why you called me
Okay.
over?
Keep charming her.
Yeah. Sorry.
Keep charming her. Here we
I
go.
I'm
Here
a
we
very
go.
I can't not be charming, Vic.
It's
I
true.
don't know. It's not up to me.
Here
but
we
I'm
go.
sure it
Here we
won't be
go.
too
Here we
long.
go. Can I go there? No.
Okay.
So my.
Thank you.
Oh fuck, she's leaving.
It's okay. It's okay.
Shit. Vincent needs to do something about that guard. Sorry.
Oh, what is
Just
this
getting
guy doing
restless.
over there?
That's
How do I
understandable.
How do I get across
Where's
here?
the button prompt
He's
to
gonna
do more
notice me.
do more stuff?
You just chill in that bed, okay?
I made
Oh,
the
you're-
guard. Yeah, I
okay,
made the
cool.
guard come over here.
All right. Okay.
That's the most obvious thing. Why is the nurse not seeing you walking around back now? I guess she's looking the other way.
Sweet. Okay. I'm under a table. I got this. I got the tool. I stole the tool.
Okay, well, I don't think I have... Well, I have one other prompt I guess I can use.
Okay. How's that lying down going for you?
Yeah. I'm just...
Anything else?
You lie down.
I'm gonna tell her I'm in pain.
Yeah. I've got this terrible pain.
Okay, you
I
do
need
it.
something for it.
That,
Now,
that
where
might
do
make
I-
her call in a doctor or something.
Where do I gotta go?
I can't really.
Are you
Return
trying to
to
get
my
back
bed.
to your bed? Okay, she's
Okay.
looking this way, so you're
Like
good.
it's all
You're good.
over,
Okay.
You know.
Just go now.
Really bad.
Which one's my bed? Right here.
That one.
Okay.
Let me
The
know
only
if you
one
need
you can
more
get into.
specific.
Okay, here we go.
So this whole game is just gonna be follow... Go to the yellow
No,
dot.
hey,
Go to the
hey,
yellow dot.
hey,
Go to the yellow
reel in
dot.
the hate. Reel in the hate.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just... Is this the whole game?
I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of areas once we start breaking out from the trailer that we're helping each other climb things and we start getting more and more badass.
Let's move.
Just you wait.
Sure.
Olaf Christensen making fun of Ben Affleck's incredible Phoenix tattoo. Why is Ben Affleck like?
Did you
sort
see
of
the tattoo?
Yeah, courting ridicule, like ad infinitum, like always doing something where you could just say, "What's your problem?" Yeah. Imagine having to burn that tattoo off. Like how long that would take.
Well, he's not gonna get it burnt off.
Like, brutal. What was he thinking?
He was thinking if he ever goes to prison, he wants to look badass.
So.
I guess so. Japanator Gamer. I don't know how to say that. I hate everything about this game. This is you, Blake.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's bad.
I didn't say I hate everything about it.
What do you guys think about PUBG on iPhone and Android? I have not played it, Spider-Man.
I played it for 5 minutes on the iPhone.
And?
Without a regular controller.
And?
So it sucks.
Las
But if
Vegas.
you have a regular controller, it's better.
Game is putting Las Vegas to sleep.
Back there, but you need to back off.
I think the awesome is coming, guys. Hang in there. It's coming.
Wait, the game's gonna turn into a video game soon. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it takes a lot of guts to make a game that is slow paced and is an in-depth sort of thought-provoking experience, but force you to play it with someone else.
Yes.
Because that's not typically the type of game you want to play with other people.
Understand that you could really use my help.
It's like you don't take a big group of friends to go see like a really thought-provoking art house film, right? You go to a Marvel movie to take a big group of friends. So it's like this is like an art house film equivalent as a video game, but they're forcing you to take your friends to go see it.
The walls are thin in here.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just unusual.
You just hate everything.
I didn't say it's bad. I'm impressed by the fact that they had the courage to do that.
We have a shout out from Newfoundland. Keep up the great work from What At with a question mark. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thorazine666, Spider-Man, Olaf Christensen, Samian111, JBJ Blaze and TFA, Ryan Landis. Can you get a prison tattoo? Ryan is asking.
Who, me?
Yeah, in real life. Could you get a prison tattoo,
could,
please?
But I'm not going to.
You know what we could do is we could get take a photograph of that guy's naked scene, and we'll just do the video game dink right there, right on
Just
your arm.
Just on my arm. Yeah.
Yes. What do you think? All right, Paul Adamson, PSN Trophy Wang Watcher. Well, all of you watched it with us. You never know what you're gonna get on EPN.
It's pretty bad when the highlight of the first 30 minutes is a penis.
Our show is like a box of chocolates. All right.
So this is only on the PS4 and Xbox One, or is it on the PC as well?
I'm sure it's on the PC as well.
It's not on the Switch though, right? This seems like it could be a Switch game.
Blake's favorite game, Cutscene Skipper 2018.
That's why I like Half-Life, because there's no cutscenes.
Yeah. It's my plan.
I'm not a fan of long cutscenes, especially when I can't hear them.
This is like all of us watching a soap together. We like our stories. We're watching our stories.
What's your favorite soap opera, Vic?
I don't know. General life.
That's not a show.
General Days of Our Life. Oh, we're at the title.
The game started.
Woo!
Yay.
Okay, 22 seconds left. That was 30.
Took half an hour.
30 minutes to get to this point.
Remember in was it Dragon Age?
Mm.
One of the Dragon Ages, like the title screen came in like 4 hours into the game. You think you're like halfway through the game, and it's like Dragon Age.
You didn't really have an escape plan, did you? Okay, so we're skipping
forward. Why are we in an airplane?
We're skipping forward.
Why are we in an airplane all of a sudden?
I don't know, man. I got you out, didn't I?
Blake's
Blake's of Our Lives. Days of Our Half-Life is Blake's favorite soap opera.
Well, that was a good 4 minutes of gameplay and 30 minutes of cutscenes.
From the Metal Gear Solid school of game creation.
I don't know why I like Metal Gear Solid, because I hate cutscenes so much.
Yes, but they're extraordinary cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid.
They are.
Yeah, like they are things that you don't normally see.
It's not a locked off shot of two guys.
We have all
sitting
seen Oz. We have all seen Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
It is very tough to make a compelling prison sequence that looks different than a million things
I don't know. I don't hate
seen.
this game. I mean, I would have to play it more. I would have to have audio. I would have to, I'm not saying I dislike this game. I'm not going to rag on it.
Yeah.
I haven't played enough of it.
Okay.
Well, are we done?
Yeah, that wraps us up for the day. I guess you're not going to be my gaming buddy to actually play this game. I'll have to.
Well, you should play with Johnny.
Okay. Pass the buck, Blake. All right, you guys have an incredible weekend. We will have a brand new EP classic for you to watch over the weekend. And, of course, there's a million videos for you to get caught up on. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for watching the archive if you're looping in later. We will see you on Monday with new content. We're taking a break from EP Live for a bit because I'm doing a little vacationing. But we'll have the rundown every day starting on Monday. Have yourselves an awesome weekend. And if you dig our stuff, don't forget to hit subscribe and that little bell. You got to remind YouTube that you want the notifications still, which is weird. And if you're so inclined, hit that sponsorship button. We'll see you soon.